Good evening, everyone. Here at the Odd, the nationally ranked #1 team in men's ice hockey for Division III from Utica University will be taking on the Golden Flyers in a big UCHC tilt. It's also Duncan night here at the Odd, and so I am totally ready for this one. Yeah, Steve, you said it. It is certainly a new vantage point for me. Normally, I've been at the start line the last few years, so I was getting a little antsy. I'm not used to being in such quiet for this long before the racers come through. Certainly interesting. And this is the one day of the year where I wake up at 4 a.m. instead of going to bed at 4 a.m. So, hey there, Kristen. Good evening, everyone. It'll certainly be a unique situation at the Odd on Monday. Typically, thousands of Utica fans pack the stands to cheer on the Comets. However, this time around, I don't think a Comets team will be getting a warm reception from the Utica faithful. Spencer.Davidson and Talha Rao here at Clark Sports Center in Cooperstown, where the grounds are empty now. But earlier this afternoon, Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend reached its climax with the ceremony enshrining 7 new members into baseball's highest fraternity. A giant in the sport is certainly not an understatement. Robinson was considered to be one of the founding fathers of motocross in the United States. Now a weekend that's supposed to be a celebration both for the iconic Unadilla MX track and the sport itself will come with a cloud hanging over it. I'm here live at the Adirondack Bank Center in Utica, where tonight the Comets return from a 5-day all-star break to begin the unofficial second half of the regular season as they host one of the league's best, the Hershey Bears. Now, it's not only because Hershey is in town, but tonight's Sports Express is anything but vanilla. It is Torch, who will be playing for the world-famous Globetrotters tonight at 7 o'clock. Come on down if you aren't already here. Kristen, again, I'm not playing tonight, but I'm going to be cheering them on.
Spencer, truth, you got too good.
Yeah, not good enough. It is hockey night in Utica here at the Adirondack Bank Center, and it is a huge night at that. The Comets return home for Game 3 of the North Division semifinals against the Toronto Marlies, with the series all tied up at 1 game apiece, and the next 2 here in Utica. Now, the Comets have a big opportunity here in front of the home fans, and I gotta say, I do feel pretty good about this one. When I walked into the building, I found this guy sitting in the stands, so I'd like to think that's a sign of good things to come. We shall see. Fans are filing in here for another whiteout at the Odd after they were given quite the treat the last time out with a come-from-behind OT win against Game 2 against Laval the last time out. Now, for the Comets, they did take care of business north of the border, bouncing back in this series after a Game 1 overtime loss to even it up with a convincing 7-2 win over the top seed Marlies on Saturday. 7 different goal scorers found the back of the net for Utica in that one, as the team continues to get contributions from across the board, which is so crucial at this point of the year. The teams have had 4 days off now since Game 2 to recharge, get healed up, and get some practice in to prepare for a pivotal game, with tonight's winner moving 1 win away from moving on and advancing in Game 4. Now, the Comets will be without forwards Nolan Foote and Sam LeBears for this one. They are dealing with minor injuries and are considered day-to-day at this point. With 2 wins needed to move on and the next 2 here at home, the Comets know the opportunity in front of them and discuss the importance of managing their emotions while enjoying the boost they'll get from a whiteout playoff atmosphere here at the Odd.
It's a win for them if they call 4 penalties against each team. You know, they've been the top power play all year, and we've had our challenges in that area.
Well, the first order of business to take care of comes tonight in Game 3. The Comets win would give them the opportunity to end the series here in Game 4 on Friday. A loss, and they'll have to win Friday to avoid elimination and force a decisive Game 5 back in Toronto on Sunday. Now, it's hard to believe, but the Comets have not made it past this round of the playoffs since their Calder Cup finals run back in 2015. They've given themselves a great opportunity here, and by the end of the night, we'll see what they did with it. Warm-ups coming up here at the Odd in just a few, then puck drop at 7. I'll wrap things up for you tonight at 11. Until then, good night and good puck. Hey guys, yeah, we're seeing the first wheelchair racer with the police motorcycle escort starting to come over the ridge here on Culver Ave. Can't quite see the bib number yet. I'll let you know as soon as they go by. Now, You notice the lights are red. This is one of the few times that you're actually allowed to go through a red light on this street. And as Kristen mentioned before, these wheelchair racers are going to have a tough time right here. Culver Ave up to the Parkway and to Valley View is a gradual incline. So that's something that you're going to have to keep in mind, that, this first mile, it might be one of the toughest in the race. Now, as the first finisher, I'm going to get out of the way here. As the first wheelchair racer comes through, the crowd's starting to line the street here. They're clapping, and that is 26. That is Daniel Romanchuk, the 4-time champion. As you guys mentioned, the record holder back in 2018. He has a sizable lead here, and the pacing seems certainly pretty good right now for him to be able to potentially break his own record. As we have the second pack here going by, we have Herman Garrick going by the bib number 13. He is in second place right now, and following him very closely, Alexander DuPont, as we see the second wave of wheelchair racers come through. So right now it's a battle for second place because Daniel Romanchuk has a sizable lead. The 23-year-old just dominant all year on the circuit for wheelchair racing, and certainly coming out of the gates hot here. We have the steady stream of wheelchair racers now coming through. Remember, this is a large field of wheelchair for the wheelchair division this year. 38 chairs in this year's race, so we're going to be seeing a long stream of racers here. We have, people lining the streets here, and, you got to always remember what a great event this is, what a great community event this is. We've had people stop off and give us, water bottles and just everybody kind of saying good morning and coming out, and everybody's in a good mood. And, I don't know how, being at 7:50, how everyone's in such a good mood, but I guess, that's just my schedule. So, all right, well, the wheelchair racers are now coming through. Again, Daniel Romanchuk was in a sizable lead heading up to the golf course at Valley View. So as we now wait here for the 15K runners to come through, I'm going to send it back to you guys at the finish line, Kristen and Steve. Good evening, everyone. It is opening day in Major League Baseball as the wait is over, and 30 teams all begin a quest that they hope ends in a World Series come the fall. Now, I'm not over at Main Street today, but rather here at Fenimore Art Museum, where it was a different kind of opening day for one of the legends of the game.
It's great. I'm very excited.
Randy Johnson played 22 seasons in the big leagues for 6 different teams, including 2 in New York with the Yankees. Now 34 years after making his MLB debut, it's deja vu all over again as the big unit makes his big debut as a professional photographer with his new exhibit, Storytelling with Photographs, set to open to the public on Saturday.
Photography is a passion of mine. Having my first exhibit is kind of out of my arena, something I've wanted to do. How I kind of envisioned it was maybe just renting some space down at the local mall and throwing a few of my photos in there, because that's probably how most people start. I graduated from that and I went right up to the major leagues. This exhibit being at the museum here at the Fenimore is at the major leagues.
The 6'10 lefty from California was a force on the mound. With over 4,800 career strikeouts and 303 career wins, he traveled across the continent in pursuit of a World Series title. After retiring in 2009, he's become quite the globetrotter, shifting his focus from the strike zone to the shutter, looking to highlight the beauty of the world around us.
I enjoy traveling, and what better way to travel than to have a camera in your hand and be able to share opportunities with other people as well.
With a perfect game under his belt, his pitching was like art to some. Although life as a photographer may differ from that of a professional baseball player, the 2015 Hall of Fame inductee said there are some similarities in his approach to both, and that he's learned a lot from each profession.
I pitched a lot of baseball games, and I was always striving to be better. And in photography, striving to take better pictures, doing research, how do you capture moments and things like that. And when opportunities present themselves, hopefully you're ready for it. So there's parallels.
His pictures featured in the Fenimore exhibit come from trips all over Africa. He's gearing up to return overseas with a visit to Japan next month and another visit to the African continent in August. However, no matter where his journey takes him, he said it's always a thrill to be back in Cooperstown.
This is my home away from home. I'm here for another reason. I'll be back here in July. And I think the great thing about when I come back in July is my peers and players that I've idolized will walk through here and see something that I enjoy doing.
So while no major league team can win the World Series here on opening day, today is a championship caliber day for one of the game's greatest. At the Fenimore Art Museum in Cooperstown, Spencer Davidson, News Channel 2. Good evening. We are in the final stages of the high school soccer regular season with just a game or two to go to determine where teams will end up in sectionals. Tonight we had a couple of huge league matchups, and we'll begin on the girls' side with state-ranked number 11 Sequoia Valley and number 6 Mount Markham. To West Winfield, battle of the top two teams in the Center State Conference Division 3. Mustangs yet to lose in the league. Indians right on their heels though. Mount Markham won 2-1 the last time out in the first. They get the scoring going. Off the corner kick, Maggie Plummer charges in, tucks inside the post, and over the line. The sophomore puts the Mustangs up by 1. Later in the half, Indians looking to strike back. Emma Yerman sends it into the box. Paige Kuhn settles and fires. Tie game. The senior putting it bottom left corner, and we're even at 1. That was the score at halftime. In the second, Sequoia on a run. Caitlin Core with the nutmeg and the finish. What a goal. The senior with a showstopper to give the Indians their first lead of the game. A few minutes down the line, Sequoia again on the attack. Tristan Williams with the cross. It trickles back post for a wide open Kuhn, and Paige puts this one away. Kuhn with 2 goals in the contest. Huge win for Sequoia Valley, handing Mount Markham its first CSC loss. Final 3-1 Indians. On the boys' side tonight, it was another big divisional battle. This one in the Tri-Valley Colonial, a battle for first between New Hartford and Proctor. To D'Alessandro Stadium in Utica, the Spartans still unbeaten in the league and ranked 18th in the state in Class A. The Raiders right behind NH in the standings and looking to take over in first. First half, 17 minutes remaining, no score. Amir Halilovic sends Alan Kadich ahead. The senior just gets it off. A laser upstairs. Proctor is on the board first. Late in the frame, just over 2 minutes remaining. This time, Irvin Rusnick with a perfect ball sets up Andrew DeShavo with no one to beat but the keeper, and he does. The transfer senior gives Proctor some insurance. They lead 2-0 at halftime. In the second, New Hartford with a push. Arda Sensisik in for John Paul Jerome. Asim Gasik gets a piece, then keeps it out with a sprawling stop on the goal line. Quick hands keeps it a 2-goal game. At the other end, just under 15 to play. See Damed Soma with some magic. Cuts inside, boots it from the parkway, and sends it off the post and in. Perfect accuracy from the junior, and Proctor now leads by 3. 10 minutes left. Spartans need something quickly. They get a big chance with a penalty kick. Michael Linder to put New Hartford on the board. Stopped by Gasik. What a save from the senior keeper, his biggest of the night. He earned his clean sheet with 13 saves. Proctor wins 3-0. More scores online at WKTV.com. Well, we are just 4 days away from the opening of the 2022-23 Utica Comets regular season. Hard to believe, but it's the 10th anniversary season for the Comets. And as part of the celebration this year, you'll be able to catch them right here on WKTV NBC. The Comets and News Channel 2 have partnered up to broadcast 7 Saturday night home games throughout the season, starting on October 29th against the Toronto Marlies. Our slate will feature 1 game each against the Marlies, Syracuse Crunch, Providence Bruins, and Springfield Thunderbirds, and 3 games against the Rochester Americans. Jason Shaya, the voice of the Utica Comets, will provide play-by-play of all the action. He said this will give the team an opportunity to reach a broader audience here in year 10.
We're really excited about the move to WKTV, and this allows us a really, really big footprint, geographical footprint.
Joining Shia on the broadcast will be a revolving door of Utica hockey personalities such as Utica University men's hockey coach Gary Heenan, Rome native and former New Jersey Devils forward Tim Sestito, and others. We have a full broadcast schedule up for you on WKTV.com. The Comet season begins on the road this Saturday against the Hershey Bears. The quest for 28 began tonight in the Bronx as the Yankees opened up the postseason in Game 1 of the ALDS against the Cleveland Guardians. To Yankee Stadium, the first of a best-of-5 series. Garrett Cole on the mound for New York. He was great, but the Yanks trail 1-0 in the third. That's when Harrison Bader, the deadline acquisition and hometown kid, gets all of this one on a full count and sends it to the seats in left. Matt Carpenter loves it, as do all 50,000 in attendance. We're tied at 1. Bottom 5 still tied. Jose Trevino has a man 90 feet away, and he gets the job done. Drives it deep to straight away center. The catch is made. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa tags and scores on the sacrifice, and the Bombers pull in front 2-1. To the 6th, Anthony Rizzo with Aaron Judge on third. Doesn't really matter where Judge is, though, because this one is hammered out to right and gone. A 2-run shot and the big blow in this one. Spike Lee loving it. The bullpen would lock it down from there. Yankees take it 4-1 and grab a 1-0 series lead. Game 2 is on Thursday. Good evening, everyone. You really can't draw it up much better than what we saw last night. The Comets going into enemy territory with a sold-out crowd of 10,000 against a team they struggled against in the regular season, and with a complete team effort came away with a dominant Game 1 win. The team rolled back into town at 3 a.m. this morning with a healthy lineup and a chance to now close out the best-of-3 series here at home tomorrow. Utica got contributions last night all throughout the lineup, getting 4 combined points from their defensemen, including a Riley Walsh goal that you saw just there, and secondary scoring from forwards Arnie Talviti and captain Ryan Schmelzer, who put in a pair. Nico Dawes was also spectacular, stopping all 33 shots he faced to earn the shutout. After beating Laval just once in 6 regular season meetings, this was a perfect way to open up the playoffs and sent a statement to Laval as the series shifts now back home.
Specifically early, the first 10 minutes, I don't think we took the cue out of our game.
The Comets now have the chance to close out the series in Game 2 tomorrow in front of a whiteout crowd at the Adirondack Bank Center with puck drop at 7 p.m. If they win, they'll advance to the best-of-5 North Division semifinals against the top seed Toronto Marlies. If they lose, the teams will play a decisive Game 3 at the Aud on Saturday. And this is a big one for the Comets, too. Coming back home, they've been a really good home team, but they haven't beaten the Rocket at home this year, so it'll certainly be a good test.